Please don't mention my name for privacy. This is about the dark extreme events happened with my colleague and her husband. And let me tell you, they have not recovered from that till date. Both of them gone on what was supposed to be their honeymoon trip. But the trip has never ended and have become a part of their lives. They had a full week booked, a quiet hotel in Columbus, Ohio. Nothing fancy, just affordable. And they thought it would be comfortable. They told me everything, and I'll share it with you the way it happened. You'll understand why. They cut their week short and left after just 2 nights. They arrived late evening. Winter roads, slushy and wet, salt stains on their shoes. The lobby smelled like cleaner, mixed with damp coats. The clerk did the normal check-in, ID, card, key card, and casually said, "Hallways get drafty sometimes, especially the end rooms." Nothing to worry about. Their room was at the very end of the hall. The door was already unlocked. Odd, but they were too tired to care. Inside, the room was standard. Patterned carpet, humming air unit, big bed, heavy curtains. But the balcony window was wide open, curtains swaying in icy air. The husband locked it tight. They unpacked, hung their clothes neatly in the almirah, and fell into bed, exhausted. Around 11:30, as they tried to fall asleep, they heard it. Bone-chewing sounds, like something gnawing hard, cracking, chewing. Sometimes it sounded like a child, tiny jaw crunching. Other times, like an old woman, breath rattling as she chewed. The sound came from near the balcony window at exactly 1:13 a.m. The air unit shut off. Silence pressed in heavy. Then the smell of burning flesh seeped into the room. Bitter, sharp, thick. The wife swore she saw a figure outside. Small, like a child watching through the glass. The husband looked. Nothing. But both saw a shadow in the parking lot below. It paced back and forth, then stopped, and tilted its head up toward them. They barely slept. Morning light didn't bring comfort. The clothes they had hung neatly in the almirah were now crumpled and thrown back into their bag. On the table placed in front of chairs, inside the room, burned cigarette marks and ash. Neither of them smoked. They went downstairs for breakfast. Quiet, pale. They didn't tell anyone. After breakfast, they spent the whole day out. They walked around, ate at small diners, laughed, took photos. For a while, it felt normal. They let themselves forget. But the moment they stepped back into the hotel that evening, the heaviness returned, like the air was thicker inside that room. And when they asked the clerk about the balconies, he said, "There's no stair access, no way to reach them from outside, only through the room." That chilled them more than the night before. When they opened the door that evening, the balcony window was wide open again, curtains moving in the freezing air. They swore they had locked it, both of them. Yet here it was again. The husband locked it, jammed a chair against it. They tried to ignore it. But when the wife glanced at the parking lot, the shadow was back, standing still, staring up. Around midnight, the wife rolled over and saw her husband lying beside her, his breathing steady, eyes closed. She touched his arm. Cold. Then, the bathroom door opened. Her real husband walked out. Towel in hand, she shot up in bed, looked back. The bed was empty. Her stomach dropped. She knew what she had seen. Later, the sound of running water, shower on full. They went together to check. The bathroom floor was dry, towels untouched, but the mirror was fogged. and pressed into that mist was the outline of a face. At 1:13 a.m., the air unit clicked off again. The bone-chewing sound grew louder. Sometimes a child's crunching, sometimes an old woman's wet chewing. The burning flesh smell rolled through the room. Footsteps scraped across the balcony, slow, dragging, pausing at the glass. They both heard it, breathing, right there, against the window. The curtain brushed inward, as if stroked from outside. Suddenly, the bathroom tap clicked on. Water sounds echoed. Neither of them moved. The chlorine smell filled the air, mixed with that awful stench of burning flesh. Then came a muffled child's giggle. The wife whispered, "We need to leave now." Moments later, she opened the almirah for a blanket. Inside, muddy, wet shoes, not theirs, too small for them, of a little child. They called down to the desk, begged to be moved. The clerk's tone was flat. "Sorry, we're full tonight. Stay put. Probably just the heating system." But the wife swears she heard another voice behind his whispering, "Don't open the window." They were trapped until morning. Outside, the shadow in the parking lot tilted its head, then slowly raised a hand and waved at them. The rest of the night was torture. Footsteps on the balcony, dragging, breathing on the glass, the bone-chewing sound, louder than ever, whispers overlapping, the voices of a child and an old woman. At one point, the wife swore she heard them say her name. The cigarette smell returned, ash scattered fresh across the table. Each time they closed their eyes, they felt weight at the foot of the bed, as if someone sat there, watching. At 5:45 a.m., a slam shook the balcony window, as though something hurled itself against the glass. The pane rattled, but held. That was it. They couldn't stay. At 6 a.m., daylight creeping in, they dragged their bags out. As they looked back, the balcony window was open again, curtains flapping. At the desk, they demanded answers. The morning clerk said flatly, "We don't have problems like that here." Repeated it again, like a script. But her eyes wouldn't meet theirs. They left, drove straight out of Columbus. They had booked for a full week, paid in advance, but they never returned, never asked for their money back. They told me we'd rather lose the money than lose our minds. After returning home, they searched online for reviews of that hotel. Buried in the feedback, they found others. Stories of shadows, footsteps, smells. Guests warning, "Avoid the end rooms, don't book there." And here's the part that unsettles them most. Sometimes at night, their bathroom mirror fogs over, and a child's handprint appears in the mist. Their lawn swing creaks and moves by itself, even on still nights. Every so often, they find chewed bones scattered in their yard. Not from any dog. They don't own one. They are still struggling with it. Because even after leaving that room, something followed them home.